My name is Ismail Altaf Khan, and I will teach you about my topic, which is kites. But before starting, we know that this is pandemic time, so safety is very important. Let's log in. PR teaching assessment. My unit is ED 180, Human Movement and Culture in the Pacific. Here we go. Traditional sports and games. So, when we talk about traditional sports and games, we have a lot to think about. But today I'll teach you only one sport and game, which is kite. So, how do we define kite? Kite, a toy consisting of a light frame with thin material structured over it, flown in the wind at the end of long string. Let me show you. This is kite, flown in the wind at the end of long string. Long string, as you can see also here, in the picture. Right. The kite was first introduced into Europe, probably by the Portuguese in the 16th century. The first person who invented the kites was Peter Lind. Kites can be closely associated with the families of ruling chiefs and royal language of Tahiti. When we talk about royal language, it means it is their culture, the way they practice their belief system. Kite sports can be practiced on land, water and snow by men, women and children. We can play this game at anywhere. We can play on land, even we can play on boats, or even we can play on snow. And this game could be played by any age. The importance of kite flying is held in Eastern Asia, both as a cult and a sport is well known. In this part of the world, kite has an ancient history. When we talk about ancient history, which means we have to go back in 1800s. The kite is the fastest growing and the most popular sport, which offers various pathways for elite levels. Let me say it one more time. Kite is the fastest growing and most popular sport which offers various pathways for elite levels. What I mean here is this. When we talk about kites, in every sport we can earn. One knows actually kite is one of the best way to have opportunity to earn income. The kite racing will make its first Olympic debut at Paris in year 2024. This is the year this is the year in which the first time we will have Olympics on kite flying. Kites are linked to Chinese celebration and symbolisms. When we talk about Chinese people here, they have actually very different type of culture, the way they live or what they eat. Celebration because they are decorative and festive, representing Chinese culture. As always, red is a color often on kites in China because this is the one of the colors associated with good luck. What I mean here is this. In every celebration they should have a red color. Why? Because they think by having the color red, they are having good luck. Let's move on. Kites also gives a great deal of information about atmosphere, vastly improved the weather forecasting of the time. As you can see in the picture, this kite is a bit different. Why? Let me tell you this. Because this type of kites are used to gather information about the weather system. Kites in the Pacific. In the Polynesian Islands, kites are associated with gods. Let me say it one more time. In the Polynesian Islands, kites are associated with gods. A kite represented the god Tane. Kites in the Pacific were made of tapa cloth with painted bird heads. In Samoan language, we say it Manu Hakarere. What I mean here is this: when we Pacific people we make kites, we don't use newspapers, we don't use any other things. What we use is tapa. Why we use this? Because it signifies our identity, where we belong, and it's our culture. In Tahiti, kites were used to propel rafts. They loaded rafts with foods and sent them across the bay with the means of the kite. As you can see in the picture, what Tahitians were doing with the use of the kite was this. They constructed a boat. With that boat, they tried to shift foods from one place to the other. So they failed. So what they came up with is the using of the kite. So when they applied this system, it actually forced the kite to move, which also moved the boat from point A to point B. The kite flies because the wind pushes it. The wind exerts a force on a kite. You can feel the force when you stand with the kite in the wind. The wind pushes the kite and you as well. So when you are flying a kite in the sky or in the wind, when there is a strong wind and your string is too tight, you also have to move. Anyone that has flown the kite knows that you cannot force the kite to take a flight. One more time. Anyone that has flown the kite knows that you cannot force the kite to take a flight. What I mean here is this. Aeroplane takes a flight. It goes on the road. But you cannot force a kite to take the flight. You have to actually leave it with your bare hands in the wind. You can just go like this. It does not work that way. Right. Benefits of kite flying. Most of us, we don't know what are the advantage side of flying the kite. Eye stimulation. Eye stimulation means when you are flying a kite, your concentration part is very strong. Neck and shoulder. When you're flying a kite, your neck moves with your shoulder. It's a neck and shoulder exercise. Flying kites allows us to stretch our necks and shoulder muscles. It's like this. When you're flying a kite, you move your neck with the help of your shoulder. We actually don't know that kites are stress reliever. Flying kites are relaxing. One more time. Benefits of kite flying: eye stimulation, neck and shoulder exercise. Flying kites allows us to stretch our necks and shoulder muscles. Stress reliever. Flying kites are relaxing. If you have any questions, please take the floor.